Hey, thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Prime Cuts. I'm T-Bone. This is the HQ. Let's get it started. This episode, without a doubt, I got to dedicate to the policemen, and not only policemen, but security personnel across the world. I'll tell you why. One thing, if you've been living under a rock or just trying to avoid it altogether, the attacks in Paris, the one thing that saved this from being even a bigger travesty was the fact that security personnel at the soccer stadium there in France actually caught the bomb vest or found it during a search. That person ran off and blew themselves up or whatever. But if it wasn't for those security personnel, and I hope none of them got hurt, never got word on that, those security personnel saved a lot of lives, and it could have been an even bigger travesty. So big shout out to those guys. Also, Ethan Harris out of Australia, he's a subscriber. He's also an apprentice. He had a mishap, cut off part of his finger or whatever. Dedicating the show to you, brother. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, this week's episode, as always, it's brought to you by Bull City Street Foods. Best grub in Durham, North Carolina area, period. Bar none. I'm telling you, you got to check it out. The kind of food, it's cuisine, man. It's not just truck food. It's cuisine. They sell out of their plates each and every time. It's crazy, crazy grub. Check them out. Also, Top Bananas from the Tops Kick app. I don't know why I can't say that consecutively. It's like a tongue twister. But anyway, you got Carl Bull, Carl Taylor, B-Bear, Chubik, all those guys. Not to mention Keith and just everyone. I can't even remember Dennis, But a big shout out, a special shout out this week goes to John Robinson. That guy always has my back anytime I need something, whether it's a car. He just seems to appear out of nowhere. He doesn't ask for anything. He just appears. He wants to help out, and he's a good kid. Love you, bro. Thank you so very much. And here we go. All right, swing and miss this week. Let me tell you about the swing and miss this week. It's quite simple. Last week's episode. The entire episode was my swing and miss. I bent you over as bettors. I bent you over as fantasy people. And I just bent you over in general. I feel like I fucking failed you. I failed myself, and I look like a complete ass turd. Now, granted, who's going to guess that Peyton Manning's going to throw 4 fucking interceptions and have 5 turnovers before he's ousted? Not me, obviously. Should have foreseen that. But a lot of crazy shit happened, but that's my job, is to make sure I do the research so you don't have to. So hopefully I get better this week. My swing and miss, once again, last week's episode. So let's go into the picks this week. NFL. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this week, take the Chargers over the Chiefs. What? The Chiefs just destroyed the Broncos, blah, 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 blah. Look, if there's any Jekyll and Hyde team this year, it's the Chiefs. Have you not watched? I have. Okay. If the Chargers are going to come out of it, this is the week. Just take the Chargers over the Chiefs. I'm going to go Rams over Ravens. Come on, Ravens are not what they used to be. Too many injuries, too many retirements. It's caught up to them. Let's face facts. What's on paper is what's real. Okay, the Rams are an up-and-coming team with that strong, strong run game. Go Rams over Ravens. And then my lock-it-up pick of the week. Lock it up. Packers over Vikings. I know. I'm not a cheesehead. I know I keep telling you to take the Packers. I know they're coming off some losses. But is there any quarterback in the league that you trust more to make adjustments than Aaron Rodgers? Do you not think that Aaron Rodgers can come through this and push his team forward? He's done it time and time again. So trust in that. Cheeseheads over those guys that like to wear the little mask with the horns on it. All right, go with that. All right, college. My lock it up this week. I'm going to give you the lock it up first. My college picks this week, nothing but ranked games. I'm not bullshitting you this week, okay? My lock it up pick. Wisconsin over Northwestern. Also, I want you to take Ohio State against Michigan State. And I'm going to tell you to take, who do I have here? USC over Oregon. USC is one of those teams that get the 5-star athletes that Oregon doesn't. Oregon's program absolutely caters to the style of the players, and it's awesome. It should be a really, really good game. I just, for whatever reason, feel coming off of the Stanford victory that USC is just going to come in up to Oregon and just upset us. I really see that. So, upset special, USC over. Right, so I've been telling you how I've been letting you down. So my soccer picks this week are coming from Carl Taylor. I don't know why I can't say his name. Carl motherfucking Taylor, the big boss. One of my biggest sponsors, the Top Banana. He said, hey, man, can I help you in any way? And I said, you know what? You're there. You're in England. Give me your picks. And I tell you what, it's interesting because he told me in the BPL he wants you to take Aston Villa to beat Everton. That's a big call. I'm going with it. I myself would have probably picked the opposite way. I would have went Everton because I love Manchester United. That's where my heart is, okay? But for some reason, I find myself always rooting for Everton. I like their coach. I like Lukaku. I like Barkley. I mean, Baines. I really love their team. I love watching their team. And but I'm going with Carl because I trust Carl. And so my lock it up for the BPL is Aston Villa to beat Everton. My lock it up for the Bundesliga, as per Carl Taylor, is Mainz to beat Köln. Okay? So you got that. I got you 2 picks, and I got you a British source on these picks. And so let's hope they pan out. Picks for this week. I think sometimes I get discombobulated. I have been taking pride in doing a ton of research. Sometimes you have to look at what's just in front of you as opposed to what all the experts say. So that's what I did this week. I'm taking a step back. Last week I told you to start Doug Martin. His numbers weren't great. Told you to sit Carson Palmer. He went nutso. And I told you Jones would be your sleeper, and he didn't do a whole heck of a lot. Neither did that passing offense of the Bengals. So this week I'm taking that big step back, okay? And I'm starting with fantasy this week just because I feel like I really have kind of not done you guys justice at all. And so here we go. Go ahead and start DeMarco Murray for a couple of reasons. I think that their opponent is going to allow him to continue this trend of his as far as scoring a lot of points. And then also his backup is a little dinged up. I think there's concussion issues there. So go ahead. You're safe to start DeMarco Murray. Okay. Go ahead and sit Eifert. What did we see last week besides the drop passes? Yeah, he might come back. Yeah, he might step up and take that next step. But what if he doesn't? They're going against a very, very tough Cardinals defense in Arizona. It wouldn't surprise me, even if the Bengals won, which I think they will. Even if the Bengals won, I don't necessarily know that Eifert or Hill, which are 2 of my fantasy players, are worth starting this week just because of the risk-reward factor. Okay, Eifert, again, he's got to push through. He hasn't shown yet, and he might, but he hasn't shown yet that ability to push through. Now, if he has a good week this week, then you can go forward. Otherwise, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. You know how that goes. So bench Eifert and go with my sleeper this week is a guy that's just always up and down. For the last few years has been a fantasy god, but for whatever reason this year it's just not going together for him. Go ahead as a sleeper pick, Matt Stafford. Go ahead and start him. So again, I'm taking that step back. I have looked at some of the research, but I cleared my mind. I went and looked at the stats myself, and this is what I've come up with for this week. So start DeMarco Murray, sit Eifert, and your sleeper's Matt Stafford. And those are your fantasy picks. So my WTF for the week is very simple. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest with you, in this WTF, and this is for one simple reason. Fan is short for fanatic, okay? Which means if you fanatically root for a team or a fighter, as the case may be, then you root for that person, okay? Ronda Rousey fight. Not only am I disappointed in the fans that turned on her, okay? I'm also disappointed in the news networks and the different little agencies and stuff like that put out and spew out all this venom. It's pathetic. I heard one guy talk about, I hope it doesn't take Ronda's soul. This came from a freaking guy that you can tell never competed in anything in life, sports or otherwise. Yet, he's going to assume a loss like that, as brutal as it was, took her soul? Are you kidding me? Ronda Rousey is a competitor. There's a reason she had the fan base she had. And that's because people, oh my God, is my dog back there? Yes, he is. But that doesn't matter. You got to listen to what I'm telling you. Okay? If you root for someone, root for someone. If you root for a team, root for that team and root for it with all that you have. But don't turn coat and don't turn tail and run when your fighter or your team loses. It's horseshit. Why am I wearing Oregon today? Because they're not doing great. Yeah, they upset Stanford, but it's not like they're playing for the national title. You'll never see me with fucking Alabama gear on. Why? Because I can't fucking stand Alabama. That's part about being a fan. Yet you're going to tell me all of a sudden there's no Ronda Rousey fans out there, right? But there's 8 billion Holly Holm fans? And look, I have nothing against Holly Holmes. She's amazing. She's a good champ. She earned the fucking title. No doubt about it. But the bandwagon has to stop. The United States of America fans have to get off their asses and stop being bitches. Now, I've gone to UFC events. I've gone to 5, 6 of them, okay? And almost every time, I tell you what pisses me off more than anything is when the fans are rooting for a fighter, and at the end of the fight, the fans are booing that fighter and rooting for the other fighter. What does that say about you? What the fuck? Hello, everyone. This is my dog, Tiberius. He's not always the dog that interrupts my videos. This is just a random clip. I thought I'd throw him in there. It's very photogenic, don't you think? Anyway, I just slipped that in there. Oh, that's what she said, son. What time is it? Geek time. Whew. All right, so with Geek time this week, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and rate the Call of Duty that I bought. I know you saw the Juggernaut edition where I opened it up and all that. I went ahead and played the game. I'm just going to give you the rating flat out. 3.5 pork chops. Why? It leaves me a little unsatisfied in a lot of areas. First of all, online play, it just seems very glitchy. The connectivity is awful. You get booted, especially I'm in there with party members and stuff like that, and it's just terrible. We get booted from each other. We try to connect to a game. A member drops off. Then we got to pull out of a game, causing us a loss, which I'm a stats guy, so that pisses me off. So, yeah, there's a lot that they need to fix. 3.5 stars. It's a good game. The campaign is crazy. If you do it on the hardest mode, which is pretty much if they spit on you, you die, you're definitely gonna want to party up with some people and play that game, as a group. And make sure they're good. I play with Jonathan and Joe, and they're amazing players, so they kind of carry me a little bit. I just kind of hang back and play medic. That's my role. Hey, I'm good with it. But like I said, 3.5 pork chops. It's still a very good game. It's still Call of Duty. Realistically, I probably should have gave it 2.5 pork chops, but it's Call of Duty, and I'm very loyal to them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit my Twitter, at T-Bone Capone OG. Hit up my Twitter. I went ahead and pinned a clip from Call of Duty, and in this Call of Duty, it's honestly, it's probably the best clip I've posted. I've posted a lot over the years, but Call of Duty, I've done so much with it. I've played so many hours, and this by far was my best clip ever. First of all, you don't see bodies explode like they do in Gears of War, and that's what this was. So it's a game-winning shot, and it's very interesting. It's with the War Machine, so check it out. It's a cool-ass video, man. I don't care. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, what I'm going to do next week for Geek Time, right here. Haven't even opened it yet. Hoping to play Fallout 4. Play it this weekend, if my wife will let me. Actually, she doesn't mind. She's really cool with the video games. She actually kind of gets into them like, hey, how come you're not playing it when I get burned out? And I'm looking at her like, quit sweating me. Quit sweating me. She's a good woman. So I appreciate that. We'll do Fallout 4 for next week's Geek Time. In the meantime, go ahead. If you hit me up online, it's on Xbox Live. It's Kinky Twinkie. I know. Don't judge me. And yeah, hopefully we get together sometime. But that's this week's Geek Time. All right, boys and girls, this week's 5 questions with T-Bone is none other than Piddy. Now, Piddy, a lot of you know from the Topps Kick app, finishes number 1 consistently. The guy's a badass points chaser. And in my mind, there's a few of him and there's only one of him, but him and a few other top bananas definitely deserve what I would call Hall of Fame status. But anyway, today's questions with Piddy, I think they're going to be awesome, so let me know what you think. All right, so I have Curtis Piddington. Piddy, what's up, Piddy?
I'm all good, T-Bone, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, man. I'm well. I'm talking to a true legend right now, so excuse me if I'm a bit nervous. My balls have kind of sunk up in there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like talking to...
I feel the same, mate.
Talking to a celebrity like the Pidmeister. All right, here we go. We're going to go right into the questions, buddy, all right? All right, question 1. How does it feel to finish number 1 overall in a chase? Fuck you. And how many times have you done it?
It feels good, mate. Chasing's my hobby, and my hard work pays off at the end of the day. I love it, and I wouldn't be able to do it without the likes of BB, Tubic, Messi. There's so many people who help me out. It's brilliant, but thanks to them, I finish above Sam Mansell every now and then. I've only done it 4 times.
That's it? 4 times?
4 times. But back in the day, I used to finish first quite a lot. When the app very first came out.
I remembered that, and you know what? I hated you then too. So if I sound envious, it's because I am. It's amazing what you do, honestly, with the chase, man. And congratulations, 4 times that's a lot of fucking times. So
I'm aiming to stay in that top 5 all season.
I hope you do, man. You definitely deserve it. All right, so, and this is a very important question. Last week I had a certain redneck on the channel. I don't know, most people didn't realize he was a redneck until they actually heard his voice, and then they realized, holy shit, that is a true bona fide redneck. So, would you rather spoon with Chubik or wrestle a bear?
I probably want to take my chances with a bear, to be honest.
You know what? I would too. A matter of fact, I would probably rather be a cellmate with the bear than spoon with Chubik. But that's just me.
Brilliant.
Okay. All right, my third question for you. This is important, man, because we hit hard with these questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Scotch or beer?
Beer.
Every
Scotch
time?
makes me cry.
Scotch makes you cry?
Yeah.
I knew you were, you know what? I knew you were a little bitch. You were far too fucking pretty to be drinking scotch, my friend. I knew that shit. All right, here, and this is important too. All right, question number 4. You could be in a movie. Who is your co-star?
It's going to sound rather funny, this, but I'd bring my granddad back. My granddad used to be a famous actor over here in England, Coronation Street. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have not.
Over here, he was quite a big He was jacked up within Coronation Street, and he passed away 3 years ago. I'd love to bring my granddad back and be in a movie with him because he was a brilliant actor. Brilliant actor.
That is man. That is kind of cool. I had no idea that you had that kind of lineage or whatever. Definitely sorry for your loss, man. But I think that's a classy answer, man, for sure.
Yeah, I had the honour of being on TV with him twice.
Really?
Yeah. I was on with him twice as an extra in Coronation Street. Loved it. Loved every minute of it.
Wow, I can imagine. Yeah, unlike myself, you actually have a face made for TV. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be on the video. I wish I could be filming you right now. My ratings would go up. All right. So my very last question for you, man, and this is probably the most serious of them. You know, I wanted to make sure that that the guys took my show serious and understand what I'm about. Okay. And it's pretty simple, and you better be careful how you answer this, in my opinion. All right? And it's marry, fuck, kill. Okay?
Yeah.
And here are your choices. The Redneck Chubik, B-Beer, and T-Bone.
I think I'd marry B-Beer, I'd fuck the T-Bone, and I think I'd have to kill Chew, because if I married or fucked Chew, I'm pretty sure he'd kill me.
That is an awesome answer. I would kill myself if I married Chubik, and I would kill you if you married Chubik, because you would be a miserable bitch, and you'd probably drink a lot of scotch and cry all the time. All right, Curtis, man. Hey, thank you so much. I just want to say one thing real quick. I absolutely think you are top shelf, man. You are a true competitor, and you don't let a single point go by. And if you do, you get pissed off about it, and it's because you're that kind of competitor. And I want to just give you 1 second or so, or a few minutes, whatever you need, to just say whatever you wanted to say before we're out of here.
Well, to start with, mate, I'm really glad how things are going for you at the moment. You're getting there, 200 and odd subscribers so far.
Yes, sir.
Anybody listening, watching, I'd subscribe to this channel, because I watch it all the time, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. Whether you're from England, whether you're from the US, brilliant stuff, week in, week out, absolutely love it. I'm loving this segment that you've just started, mate. It's brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank you. It's absolutely my favorite thing, because I get to learn a little bit about each and every one of you. You know, Carl Taylor. Chubik, I knew he was a redneck, but I didn't really know. Now I know. You know, and then to hear about your grandfather, I think that's awesome, man. That is really, really awesome.
Yeah, that's something I don't tell everybody, because people think, he's looking for a bit of attention, but you asked a question, I gave you an answer. That's the answer.
No, and that's what I love it. I love it. Thank you very much. So, hey guys, like Curtis said, please subscribe. But I'm here right now with the top BPL guy in Top's Kick. Period. Bar none. You know, true Hall of Famer of the game, in my opinion. After 3 years, he dominates each and every year. You guys need to pay attention, and you need to get those scoring cards. All right? So with Piddy, this is T-Bone. Another episode of Prime Cuts is a wrap. All right? But what I want to do is continue to get your input. I love doing this show each and every week. I want to continue doing this show each and every week. But I also wanted to cater to what you like. So keep giving me your input. I'll keep modifying it and changing it and fine-tuning it. I know that someone's asking for more basketball, more whatnot. Once we get through these other seasons, I'll get more into those seasons. But it's tough to cover everything, and I don't want to have an hour-long show because it's already long enough. But thank you so much for all your positive feedback. Thank you for the continued retweets on Twitter and the subscribers. 236 subscribers. 2 months. That's not bad. I'll take it. It's a lot of hard work, but I absolutely love it, and I thank each and every one of you for it. So with that in mind, brothers and sisters, T-Bone out.